Alright guys, this is my third time trying to record this now, so hopefully I get it right, but my audio settings have been all messed up. This is my first time doing a reaction video, so hopefully cut me some break here, but I wanted to give my live reaction to this, because I did notice that Blame Truth looks like he has watched my video. Oh, just zoomed in a lot here, but it looks like he has. That's the table I had in my video, so I'm assuming he has watched my video and made a reaction to it, so I'm going to make a reaction to his reaction. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I've already watched 2 minutes of this already, but I want to try to give my live feedback and assessment of his assessment of my video, especially after the XBell video that came out. I'm a little bit nervous on how he's going to interpret the results, but we'll get into that. Let's just go ahead and let the video run.
It says if we double down on our manipulation, the players will come back. Never mind this 23% drop nearly of players. We have to continue the manipulation. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Let's go ahead and
hey guys, Blame Truth here. I don't actually sound like that if you're new here, but that is just the voice I use when consulting the stupid reliance on data for every dumbass decision they make. And I mean, that data is bullshit anyway, because I covered in the last video, people are leaving more than ever. We have the actual data to back that up. If you play the game or just go on social media, you'll see all of these people saying, yeah, let's just quit out and screw over the matchmaking. That was the whole thing of why EOMM's even in the game in the first place, is to stop players from quitting. So a public service announcement, if you're still playing Black Ops 6, God help you first and foremost, but if you're still playing, just quit out. Just leave the game. Screw over their matchmaking. Who cares?
Yeah, it definitely has been. I mean, I stopped playing probably about a week ago. I've been playing a lot more Fortnite now, but the last lobbies that I was in, I mean, pretty much it was disconnected, player disconnected, player connected, disconnected, player connected. I mean, the whole match. So it was really hard for me to actually find a full lobby to fill. And I remember I was doing, I think it was I need to get triple kills with a certain gun. It was so difficult because there were just simply was not enough people in the lobby to actually, go for the challenges. I would literally have to kill their whole team in order to, progress in the challenge. But let's get into it a little bit more.
Screw over their precious data. So guys, we have some new evidence. And I don't even really know if I want to call this evidence or if I just want to call it straight proof at this point, because at this stage in the game, and I used this analogy recently, but if I was accused of backing into someone's car at a Denny's and I did not do such a thing and it was gaining traction, probably the first thing I would do would be to publicly say, hey, this is not true. This did not happen. I'm clearing my name. So there's been a rumor that skill-based damage is in Call of Duty. I've made countless videos on it, as have other people. The fact that Call of Duty has not addressed this rumor going around, or at least addressed the bad servers, desync, whatever, leads me to believe this is all 100% intentional. I'm going to get...
And I agree 100% on this point. I think this is really the biggest argument for skill-based damage at this point, is the fact that Call of Duty has said absolutely nothing about skill-based damage, and this is a trending topic. So if they had nothing to hide, why wouldn't they just come out and say, hey, this isn't in the game, y'all are fucking crazy, stop talking about it, here's the proof, here's the evidence why it's not in. And you got to imagine that people working at Call of Duty, let's say you're in customer success or customer experience, user experience, something like that, they're probably seeing these complaints and reaching out to the dev team and being like, yo, everyone's talking about this. Is this actually in the game? Can we address this? And, if they're actually doing that and they're reaching out to the dev team is like, hey, yeah, don't talk about it, then there's probably some sort of manipulation in the game. So that's just my thoughts about it, because this is a big corporate, billion-dollar company. They have some sort of customer success team. They have some sort of user experience team that is hearing these complaints. They're probably relaying the message to the development team, and the development team is probably giving them a response where they do not want to comment on it publicly. And pretty much every single response that comes out looks like it's written by a lawyer. So let's get into it.
into a little tangent here to start off before I get into the meat and potatoes of what I want to show you, because this is not my finding. This is someone else doing a small sample size test, but a very interesting test regardless. If you see what I'm going to show you in this video and you still choose to play this game, I can't help you. Like, you just have to accept the fact that something on the back end is horribly fucked up.
Yeah.
So anyway, let me get into my little epiphany I had. And this is going to connect. You'll see the connection eventually. Just bear with me while I get this ADHD mess out of my noggin. But about a month ago, I ordered a Carhartt jacket. I needed a kind of a lightweight, midweight jacket for winter because it's fucking winter, right? And I order this jacket and I get it in my usual size, medium. I put it on, and it just feels like shit. It just feels bad. It's a Carhartt Detroit, like the new ones, you know? And I get it, and it feels off. The arms are really long, like overly long, and the midsection's just really frumpy. And, like, there's no actual taper. Like, it's not shaped like a man is shaped, or at least a man like me, hubba hubba. But anyway, it didn't fit right. It looked weird. It looked like I was pregnant. Felt weird, felt almost like plasticky is the best way I can put it. I had an old Carhartt jacket before that I wore back in the day, and it felt nothing like that, for example.
It's actually funny he mentions this because I have a Carhartt sweatshirt somewhere laying around that I wear quite a lot and quite frequently, and it kind of fits the same way. So I'm very interested to see where he's going with this point.
So I sent that motherfucker back, and I ordered a vintage one off of eBay or whatever, kind of like one of the ones around the year 2000, and my God, the difference is night and day. Just quality, fit, functionality, all that stuff. It was night and day. And I kind of went down this rabbit hole, and I'm like, why does the new one suck so much ass? It's not me just remembering it wrongly. I ordered an old one to test it out. You know what I mean? Like, I compared the two directly. The old one is hands down, objectively better. You know, and I was looking up why. I discovered this video by this YouTuber who was going over clothing in general and how things have changed so drastically with the quality of clothing, and it's not necessarily things are getting more expensive, but they're lacking in quality despite the price going up. It's more so things are getting cheaper, and manufacturers are finding different ways to secretly cut quality. This is why you can find like a $2 shirt on Temu, but
yeah, this shirt I'm wearing right now is, I got a pack of 5 of them for, I think, $15, or maybe it was like $25. So yeah, I mean, I don't even bother buying any kind of like name brand shirts whenever I can get something like this, literally like this on Temu for $2. But yeah,
as soon as you get it in the mail and you put it on, you have cancer immediately. Sorry.
I really hope I don't have cancer, but we'll move on.
Oh, hey there, little Timmy. Are those Crocs you have on your feet? No. These are Gators, and I have radiation poisoning now. I got them from Temu. Also, I can't take them off my feet. They are now integrated into my skin. They'll probably fall apart as well, and then they're just stuck to his feet in different pieces.
Yeah, my girlfriend's bought things off Shein. I think that's the website, and I'm pretty sure she told me there was something that she bought off Shein that actually dissolved in the washer when she washed it for the first time. So definitely, yeah, there's definitely quality issues going on right now with clothing for sure.
Weird, like, Croc ripoff is just pieced together on his feet. Anyway, I'm getting too descriptive with this. Sorry. They're just trying to make things as cheap as possible because the cheaper thing is going to catch your eye because it's cheap and it might look good on the surface, but you're paying the price somewhere else. And anyway, how does this relate to Call of Duty? Sorry, I'm going off on a bit of a rant there. It relates to Call of Duty because the games have remained about the same price. I mean, they've gone up $10, $60 to $70 or whatever, which is a scam in and of itself. But they found ways over the years to nickel and dime us to death while cutting quality, while cutting costs, what have you. I mean, it started off with loot boxes and supply drops, whatever you want to call them, and that was bad enough, right? But then we got into the whole EOMM thing. Then we got into DEI hires with all that mess. And then we got into AI just making half the game, seemingly. The art team is fired. Fire all the talented artists that know what they're doing and make these bundles with AI and sell them to retards. That's been their MO. So you have to think logically here. Let's really think logically. If we've seen this progression of them cutting costs.
Yeah, and on the AI topic, I mean, that's the reason why a lot of these, YouTubers, a lot of these people that are talking and discussing Call of Duty pretty much say that this game feels soulless because, yeah, I mean, half of the game is actually being generated through, a computer. So, if a computer is generating artwork, it's not going to have that human touch to it. And I mean, I think at this point, everyone can kind of realize what AI looks like. It's still kind of in that infant stage. So anything that comes out that's AI generated, it's very easy to spot. And there's a lot of telling signs, the whole 6 fingers on Santa Claus's hands and all this stuff that people are literally paying for. It's just, it's crazy. Well, yeah, it's absolutely insane what they're doing.
Behind the scenes and cutting quality to us, the gamer, the consumer. If you really look, the quality's been cut. I mean, we still can't play free-for-all. It's been nearly 2 months and free-for-all is still broken. An entire game mode that came about in the goddamn 1990s is broken in Black Ops 6. They can't figure it out, I guess, or they just don't want to do it. I can't tell which one it is. But regardless, we've seen corners being cut with the AI thing, right? We've seen corners being cut with the fake engagement. Instead of making a good game, just addict people like it's a casino or whatever. Use psychological tricks to get people to continue to play your game. Same with the loot boxes. Get people addicted to gambling. Don't make a good game. No, don't do that. Get them addicted to something in the game so they can't quit even if they hate it. That's been their MO. Constant cutting corners.
And another point on the EOMM and just this algorithm driven matchmaking experience, I think that people that, especially older Call of Duty players, notice this more because we actually know what a good game feels like. We know what a random experience feels like, where people that were born with an iPad in their hands, born on TikTok, Gen Z, these younger kids, that's all they've known. So they probably don't even realize that it's an issue unless they've played some of the, the older titles when they're 9-10 years old. My brother, for example, I was making him play Call of Duty back whenever he's probably, 10 years old. So he kind of gets it. He's younger. He's 16. But I think a lot of these games in general are coming out for the newer generation of players, and the newer generation of players really like the maps like Stakeout, which are just fast-paced, random, and it's just so it's like TikTok for gaming, more or less. What's Call of Duty is essentially becoming now, and it's not what it used to be by any means.
Constant drops in quality. I want to ask you guys logically here. What is the next step? What is the next step? How do they continue to cut costs and cut quality and up profits and all that stuff? We've already theorized that the maps, the base maps in Black Ops 6 and even the DLC maps are so goddamn bad that they could be made by AI. I don't mean generative AI, although that is a possibility. This is a $1 trillion company here. Who knows what they're doing behind the scenes? But I mean more of a chat GPT prompt and just making it based on that to save a lot of time. But on top of that,
yeah, you also got to keep in mind these are people that are working at the company too, so anything that they can do to make their job easier, they're probably going to do it. Just think about it, rationally. If you're a developer and you know how to use AI really well, and you're working with a project manager that's hey, we need to make 5 maps within I don't know what the timelines that they're working on, but you're sitting there and you're thinking of different map designs, and you could go look at past CODs, popular maps, and create a design on your own, or you could just type into Chat GPT, hey, help me create a map on a high-rise apartment complex, and just take the prompts and start there. So it's not uncommon, it's not uncommon to use AI in the corporate world. Everyone is. I use it to help me, edit emails, help me come up with ideas for like LinkedIn posts, for outreach messages, stuff like that, marketing material. So if every company in the world is using AI, it does not surprise me in the slightest that Activision and Blizzard are using AI as well, especially because it's making everyone's life a lot easier. And at the end of the day, people don't want to work more than they have to do, they don't want to work more than they have to. So
there is skill-based damage rumors going crazy. It goes back to what I said at the start of the video. Why haven't they addressed it? Why haven't they nipped it in the bud? So many people are saying it's lag, it's desync, it's netcode, it's server tick rate, it's all this stuff.
Could be a combination.
And if that were the case, why haven't they addressed that as well? Anyone out there that does not buy skill-based damage, all right? I want you to ask them this question. Why haven't they addressed it? Why haven't they nipped it in the bud? Why haven't they denied the rumors? Why haven't they addressed the server issues? And you know what they're going to say? I don't know. Let's look at their track record.
Fair enough.
Then.
There's really nothing for Activision to gain by answering any of these questions if you actually think about it. Other than just being actually respecting their community, they would have to come up with some sort of explanation for a lot of these issues, and people are going to dog on them no matter what. And I think they're just at a point where they're like, fuck it. People are going to play it no matter what, even if it's terrible. So the people that do play it, let's try to get as much money out of them as possible. And the people that actually want a good game, sorry. I think that's really their logic here at this point, but it sucks.
Fill in the blanks with their track record. Deception, lying, gaslighting,
erroneous visual blood splatter.
Yeah, okay.
Which is insane.
I want to show you guys this clip as we get into the meat and potatoes here. And I want you to just really analyze this clip. This is from the guy I'm going to be referencing today who did these tests. He put this up in a video. And I mean, this clip is just perfect. It really is just perfect. You can see the packet loss, as in there is none, so 0%. You can see the latency, the ping, which is 14, really, really good. You can see that the guy's not lagging. There's no packet burst. There's nothing. Perfect, ideal conditions. Look at this clip. Now, what's interesting about this is if this were like one shot not regging, that would be bad enough. I mean, I've been playing Call of Duty,
and just so y'all know, when this happened, I actually lost my mind. And this is not the only clip I have. I mean, I have so many clips up on my TikTok. I have so many clips up on my YouTube. I pretty much any kind of moment that happens that feels weird, I try to clip it and then watch it back afterwards. And I have so many examples of this, and that's one person. That's one person on the internet. I can't even imagine collectively how many people are having these issues across the entire game. I mean, there are probably just millions and millions of these different instances happening.
For a long time, and I'm telling you guys right now, missing one shot like this, like it goes through someone, would be a pretty rare occurrence, even in the old days on random 100 ping, lobby connections or whatever. And I'm dead serious. I remember specifically not having any real hit detection issues. It would be laggy maybe, but not as in I might get like a delay after I shoot and then it hits and then I get the hit marker like a half second later on a really laggy connection. That would be a thing, but it would still connect. But the fact that it's twice in a row here with a one-shot kill weapon, I mean, there are several seconds before each shot can land. No, it doesn't work like this.
Yeah, and
I mean,
where are the hit markers? This is the craziest part about it, is like, this clip, obviously I'm on target enough to get this erroneous blood splatter thing, but there's no hit markers. So I don't know. That one I can't. I don't even know how to describe that one, to be honest. It was so bad.
Just look at this over and over, and he goes in closer and he slows it down, and you can see the blood splatter and all that. You can see the bullet literally hitting the fucking target and nothing. Twice in a row in ideal conditions. Do you honestly think, I mean, seriously here, do you honestly think that this is desync or lag or whatever, man? I've been playing first-person shooters for 20 years. Multiplayer shooters, I've been playing those since 2006. I played Gears of War 1 on like laggy host lobbies. I know what lag is, you know?
Gears of War is a great game, by the way. Very, very good game.
I mean, I've seen it. I've seen.
And just so y'all know as well, like I have a very good internet connection, and I live very close to a Call. I don't want to dox myself, but I live very close to a Call of Duty server, so it's very rare for me to have anything over 20 ping unless I'm running ranked, where it's more selective in the matchmaking based on skill. But it seems like, you know, multiplayer is the same way. But yeah, I mean, it's very rare for me to have anything over 5 millisecond ping, 20 at the max. So if, and I'm getting all these different weird instances and I'm posting them, it can't, like, I don't understand how it could be a connection issue.
I've played on people's hosted connections while their dad downloads Grateful Dead live shows and Jenna Jameson Blu-ray 4K HDR porn or whatever on uTorrent. And I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I have never seen it this bad. Why is it so radically different just from last year's game, Modern Warfare 3? I mean,
point.
Guys, if you played Modern Warfare 3 and you play Black Ops 6 now, is it not a night and day difference with the hit reg and the hit detection and stuff? I don't recall having really any issues in Modern Warfare 3 from the brief time I played it. I played through it at entire prestige, if you want to call it that, or at least I got the max level in Season 1. I don't recall any hit reg or hit detection issues at all. I just don't recall them. Seriously, I don't. Why is it such a night and day difference? What has happened in 1 year? But let's get into the meat and potatoes for real now. Sorry, I ramble, I go on, and I don't know, man. I talk a lot. I'm wordy, all right? Use the timestamps feature. Don't get mad at me. Suck a dick, okay? This guy decided to do a very interesting test. And I'll leave his channel in the video description if you guys want to see more or whatever. But in this test, he decided to play on a high skill account. So his normal account, which has like a 1.9 KD. And nowadays, that's like really, really good. You don't touch 2 KD unless you're cheating or you're God's gift to FPS usually nowadays. So, yeah, 1.9.
Yeah, and I see this a lot where people claim that they have like a 3 or 4 KD. I just can't imagine a world where that's even possible. And also with the amount of Cronus Zens that are being sold, and I just made a video on this, GameStop is literally selling out of these things. Every single location across the states. The actual website for Cronus Zen completely sold out. So I can't even begin to imagine how many people are actually soft cheating in this game. So maybe, you know, if you're using a Cronus Zen, you'll have a higher KD, but unless you're like a legitimate pro player, having a 2 KD in this game, I can't even see a world where it's possible, where literally all of the odds are stacked against you.
9 KD, 1.8 KD, something like that. Top tier, right? And then he plays on his girlfriend's account, which is like bottom tier, you know, 0.2 KD or whatever. Before I show you the results here, I just want to show you this comment I got. And I want to show you a direct clip from his video with him speaking on this matter. Now, here's the thing, guys. If two people, let's say 2 people that have no connection with each other and don't really have any knowledge on a subject, report seeing something, let's say this is like a trial, like in the court of law. If they get 2 witnesses who have not spoken to each other, you know, don't know each other, don't even live in the same fucking state, and they say they see the same exact thing, that's pretty valid evidence, wouldn't you say? If they say they saw someone you know, in a mask, in a ski mask, punching an old lady in the face on a subway train, and they don't know each other. They have no connection to each other whatsoever. They both say they see this, maybe from different vantage points. Maybe some guy is, I don't know, watching with a telescope from a different state and sees this versus a guy who sees it up close and personal. That's pretty valid evidence, wouldn't you say? Like, in the court of law, wouldn't you say there is some validity to that event actually occurring? I'd say yes. Now, let's look at this comment I got, and then I'm going to play what he says, and then I'm going to show you some incredible results that he got, okay? So this guy says, BT, please read this. My two friends bought BO6 and asked me to buy it so I can play with them. Bad friends, by the way. I didn't want to buy this shit, but gave it a go during free weekend. That just happened. It might still be free, actually, but don't download this garbage. I'm above average at FPS, and I play on M&K, and I'm usually in higher ranks. I decided to play on controller so that I do worse, and I don't put them in sweat lobbies. You're a good friend. Problem is, I played controller for a long time and maintained a 2.0 KD. My friends joined, and when we played, I was thinking, wow, these lobbies are so easy. I had a 4 to 5 KD with 40 to 50 kills every game. They said that they have never played in such difficult lobbies and had 0.5 KD or lower. They think that they are solid at COD and bought Black Cell Battle Pass, and one friend said that for the first 10 hours, he didn't know he could tactical sprint in Black Ops 6. Best thing is that they said that they had to go, and I don't think we will play COD again. My friends don't want to play with me because of this rigged matchmaking. Fuck this game. I forgot to mention, while playing, my ADS sensitivity seemed off at random. That's the kicker right there. Just a lot faster. Then it hit me. My aim assist was going on and off like a switch on Nuketown. What? Your aim assist was going on and off like a switch on Nuketown. All right.
And when doing this study, or the analysis, the video that I made, this is like, when I watched back the gameplay and after seeing the numbers, this is actually what I concluded was happening or potentially happening. And it's crazy to me because this statement that he's making, where he has friends that do not want to play with them because of the lobbies that he gets put into, is like my exact experience to a T. And it's crazy, like, actually seeing this, because it's in, you know, a lot of the comments that I was getting on the video was like, oh, you're just having an ego trip and just play better players. You know, it doesn't just affect me, right? Like, I have friends that will not play with me because unless I reverse boosted my account down to like maybe a 1 KD or something, they just won't play with me, which is, it sucks. Like, I used to be able to get on, play with whoever I wanted to play with and have a good time. It's just not like that anymore, which sucks. We'll keep going though.
Now.
All right, here we go. Low skill again. You know, this guy's diving. I'm getting hit markers. Snap right onto his head when he lays down. Another guy laying down. You know, it's pretty consistent. It just looks like, it honestly, what it comes down to, it almost looks like two different people. And that was right there. I mean, look at that snap. I mean, it looks like two different people are playing the game. It really does. It's actually insane. And this is, mind you, like within minutes of each other. So it's not like I'm not warmed up or anything. But I mean, the gun shots themselves, you know, me aiming, it's themselves, like itself just look, snap right onto the head. All right, we're going to go into the high skill, right? This guy's moving around, and it's like I'm almost struggling a little bit, right? It's not super obvious. It's very, very, look at this. I mean, it's very small. It's super small. Like, these are small changes that I'm talking about. High skill again, he slides in, I lose my aim assist, I try to get back on track, and it just looks like I'm inaccurate. Whereas if you go to the low skill, right, snapping, boom, headshot, okay? What else do we got here? I don't even remember all these clips off the top of my head, but boom, headshot. I mean, it's just so snappy. It's so snappy. And that's the one thing I noticed when I was playing was, look, this guy's diving, boom, snap right onto him. This guy's moving, still super snappy. Higher skill, 0 aim assist. All right, I'm moving around a little bit. I get back on track, get that kill. Now another guy's going to come in. Let's see what happens. The aim assist is gone. Where did it go?
So yeah, this is something I've been saying for quite a while, but to see this in my
watching it back again, I mean, that was a perfect moment to clip.
Comment section from someone who did not play this Call of Duty, and then they mainly play on mouse and keyboard as well, say that the aim assist just seemed to turn on and off at random, and then see it in this guy's test, albeit a small sample size test, but a test nonetheless of 2 different skilled accounts. I mean, it's something I've experienced as well. And one of my last gameplays, I've stopped playing Black Ops 6. I'm pretty much done with the game for the rest of the year, honestly. But in one of my last like normal lobby match made gameplays, I covered it on the channel. I keep referencing it in videos. It's like, I think the video is called I Got Nerfed or whatever. Black Ops 6 nerfed me in real time. If you just type in like nerfed, you'll find it in my videos. But it was the last legit game I played of Black Ops 6 before I just started like VPNing and 2-boxing and whatnot. And it just felt rigged is the best way I can put it. The first half of the game felt great.
In solo queuing in this game at this point, if you have above a 1.5 KD account, I mean, it's not even worth doing. And the fact that they took out 2-boxing it's going to make, I think there's going to be a huge decrease in people that are actually good at the game just leaving, to be honest.
I was doing great. And then it was like halfway through, things just fell apart. The shots to kill didn't make sense. They just started not making sense. The aim assist seemed to turn off at random. I even pinpoint it in the video when it does turn off. It just turns off like mid-gunfight. I don't know what to tell you other than my gun was whipping back and forth like a windshield wiper for no reason. Stuff just started to feel off. And ever since then, I've just not wanted to play the game. I have no desire to play the game. It legitimately felt like I was being manipulated halfway through the match. And we've covered, like, this is entirely possible. Ricochet anti-cheat, it's coded into the anti-cheat itself that it can do stuff like this to people it deems cheaters or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of blew their cover by releasing that information, to be honest.
The problem with this anti-cheat and the problem with Call of Duty right now in general is that there is a big shadow ban problem. If people just get reported too many times, they will get shadow banned in Black Ops 6. I mean, maybe this isn't something nefarious. Like, maybe they're not doing this skill-based damage thing intentionally. Maybe the aim assist is just really, really buggy, and maybe Ricochet is doing something on the back end they're not aware of due to reports and people, you know, getting shadow banned and whatnot. Like, if too many people get reported, maybe Ricochet steps in. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and make this not be a nefarious thing.
I mean, maybe they're doing it for people using like a Cronus Zen account or using a Cronus Zen. You know, if they get reported enough for aim hacking, they turn off the aim assist for those people. Or if you're landing too many shots consistently, but I don't know. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head.
They are doing. That's just like a theory. Maybe it's something on the back end. Something is really messed up. I don't know. But it gets worse. Like, the skill-based aim assist thing could legit be a thing. It's something I have felt. It's something I have covered. 2 different people have covered it. One in a video, one in my comment section. They were not communicating with one another. You can go find this stuff all over Reddit as well. People making threads months apart on the matter. I could maybe cover in another video after this one, even just doing a deep dive on Reddit of people talking about this stuff. I mean, this was a problem in Cold War as well, by the way, but not to this extent. This was not something that I experienced in Cold War. In Cold War, aim assist would seemingly turn off, or it would feel like a magnet, or it would push me off target if people were running. And Ace like did a video on this as well, covering the aim assist being bugged, that he could recreate it pretty consistently. So I'd like to think it was just bugged in Cold War. It's always been kind of buggy in Treyarch's games. But see, here's the kicker. I've always kind of related that to this Treyarch's engine, right? Like it's Treyarch's engine, something's weird with it, but all the games are on the same engine now. So it's not just a unique Treyarch thing. It just feels rigged is the best.
Which really sucks. I mean, I did really enjoy back in the day that whenever they would switch titles between Modern Warfare and Black Ops, it felt like different games. And now it's just like the same thing over and over again. It kind of reminds me of like the Madden series, where you basically get the repackaged game every single year with just different players. In this case, you know, different guns or different eras, whatever. But it was different engines, and it felt nice to go from like a Treyarch game to a Modern Warfare game where you felt like they were two different types of shooters. I always thought that was really cool, and of course they ruined it for us. So no surprise.
That's the way I can put it. But again, here it gets worse. So when he was doing these tests between the low skill and the high skill account, and again, small sample size here, but unless you have all the time in the world to do 100 games on each account, I mean, we got to work with small sample sizes. Nobody really has that time, sadly.
I wish I did.
But he found, and this is the really interesting part, he found that the shots to kill on average were different. Obviously, he's got more kills in the lower skilled lobbies than the higher skilled lobbies. So there's a larger sample size there. But just the fact that the shots to kill, the average shots to kill were different. And not just different, but like pretty radically different here. 3.9 to 3.4, 3.5 if we round up. And of course, it's less shots to kill in the lower skill account, which is a little odd, again, because less skilled players wouldn't be as good at hitting their targets, which means that there would be less assists. In the higher skill brackets, the good players are, you know, beaming each other. Like they're more accurate. So they're going to be on target more. You're going to rack up more assists or, you know, get full eliminations based on the damage, what have you, right? Does that make sense? These numbers are just off. I don't know what to say. I think the more interesting part of the video is the aim assist claim, but just more food for thought. And I'd like to see more people do tests. And if they have the means to do tests, go ahead and do it. For God's sakes, don't buy the game twice or anything. But if you have, you know, a low skill account like your girlfriends or your little brothers or something, try playing on it and then go and play on your regular higher KD, higher skill account and just see if it feels different. There may be some confirmation bias there, of course. You know, if you're looking for it, you might feel it then. But aim assist is something that it's hard to convey, like if it feels off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that is something I didn't even think about going into making this video. I was really just purely focusing on the damage aspect. But then when I ran the numbers and saw the differences, I was shocked. So I was kind of going back and I was like, okay, now let's look at the actual gameplay and just see if it looks any different when we slow it down. And when I was slowing it down and watching the gameplay afterwards, that's whenever I was like, oh my God, it looks like I'm two different players when it comes to the aiming aspect. So yeah, I mean, it could be attributed to the lower skill lobbies not moving as much, but you add that in with the lower shots to kill as well. It just seems weird. There's something that seems weird.
Makes sense. So it's just a weird kind of trust me bro thing anyway. I mean, you could show you missing a target, but that could just be you missing. But like I know as an FPS player that for 20 fucking years when my aim assist isn't working correctly. Does that make sense? Like you have that muscle memory and you can feel when it's off or different is the best way I can put it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave this guy's channel in the video description. You can go check him out if you'd like. And I will catch you on the next one. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of all these findings. And I will see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. You know, it's weird. There's something going on the back end that's giving all of us, a collective negative experience. So who knows? And I definitely want to do more tests. So if anyone out there is interested in collaborating, I'm going to leave the link to a Google Doc that essentially you can input your information, and I will essentially send you an email with a link to my Discord to join in, and we can have a discussion about it. I want to put together some sort of project. I work full time as well, so my time is a little bit limited, but I do think that there is something going on in the background. And I do want to get to the bottom of it. I want to have conclusive evidence one way or another. And I really do appreciate Blame Truth for making this video. I tweeted at him very persistently to make a video on this, or at least just watch the video. And so, I appreciate the shout out. But yeah, I mean, guys, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but something is off. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Anyone out there interested in collaborating, please fill out the form. And that's all for today. Peace.